Highly recommend Kuihman's video on the topic, where he goes
so do
through
I.
them in quite
So do I. Me too.
detail.
I like that smile, says Morale. See, look, why can't you guys be more positive like Morale? Why are you all haters? Like, what is this guy even rambling about?
Is like you basically trying to set Kuihman up.
I guess I just don't even care that Himpleton was speaking to Jar. Wait. You really think Kuihman's so stupid that he would accept that? No, but you clearly did, because you asked me. What? Chud's whole Discord's Aiden's new dad. Move on and keep going, I guess. Like, why are you even at this point? So, Becky...
Welcome to this educational video...
Shut up. We all know Becky, don't we? Becky's made a video about the Cinebear 03 support group, Kumo, RomanticGoblin, Himpleton, all this stuff. Okay? 20-minute video. I think it was, I assume it was edited by Max, at least in part. It's got Max's thing at the end here. So we're going to take a look. I see that Cope and Seethe has gone for the Sean and Jen model. The Sean and Jen model, where one of them just isn't on the channel. That's epic. That's really worth 50%. Okay, let's get into this.
Welcome to this educational video guide on why shutting the hell up may be a choice you want to make in the future. So recently, RomanticGoblin, a creator who came to prominence through the Lio convoy drama, held a stream explaining gun safety. You may be asking, why would she do that? Well, that, dear subscriber, is a question that can only really be answered by talking about what happened behind the scenes in the Cinebear drama, and also how art commentary itself functions. Which is kind of convenient, because at this point, I feel like that's something I should talk about. And not just because I'm violently procrastinating on the several other projects my editor is DMing me about desperately on a daily basis asking for any kind of update. But why use this as a subject? Why talk about a content creator who at time of recording has deleted their channel and before that had less than 300 subscribers? To draw a comparison, during the Lio convoy drama, one of the things that was brought up was the server
No comparisons to Lio convoy, please stop.
Actually plan his downfall and accuse him of abuse. Now this server, the Burger King logs, was a pretty interesting sideline, containing one channel that started as a place to post Nazi memes. And while that server is a great example of how ACC gay ops work, the challenge is that the wider drama around it is so convoluted that using it as an example requires quite a lot of setup. However, the Cinebear drama is kind of self-contained, which means I can use it pretty effectively as an example while using this group chat to show you a microcosm of ACC antics, which I hope should be pretty interesting. So, first off, let's give you a TLDR on the Cinebear scandal. Now, I'm not going in depth here, and I'm sure there are many
Should I call my horses and just make my own bits, Max?
elements which I'm missing out that you will be desperate to point out to me in the comment section below, but the long and the short of it is this. On the 15th of September 2024, a Google document and video was released by Cinebear's former roommate Birdie. Now this document contains a whole host of allegations, but the only one we really need to care about is that Cinebear groomed a 14-year-old. Birdie had their own list of grievances, but frankly they're a complete freak and I'm sure this channel will talk about them in the future. Irregardless, the accusations took hold and Cinebear found herself staring down the barrel of cancellation. Surprisingly, or perhaps unsurprisingly depending on your perspective, Cinebear found herself gaining allies as people went over the documents, with some of the more contrarian members of the community pushing back on the allegations. This group would become somewhat of a Cinebear defense force, and the fact that none of them are around anymore may be a little hint as to how this turned out for them. With that set up, let's talk about who the main players in the Cine Defense Force were, and I say main players because more people were involved in this than is widely realized. Now the lead tard wrangler of this little group, as many of you will already know, is a content creator named Kumo.
Kumo, come home.
And he would hand over his DM.
Dude, we need this guy to come home. Also, guys, sorry, I have to do this. How the fuck does my cum eating stream, my felching stream, get taken down, yet Kumo can post a Stolfo bussy? Wait, and you got 18 plus tags for posting these compiled? What? Why are you just saying put it in his ass again and again?
With Cinebear to Chud Logic during this drama. For those of you looking to see those in full, I highly recommend Kuihman's video on the topic, where he goes through them in quite thorough detail.
Well, I
what
recommend
I have
that
for you
too.
here in this video is an untold part of the story, at least a section of it. Because while many of the calls that would occur between Cinebear and this little group have been lost to time, what we do have in front of us is their group chat messages. And one thing that's particularly striking about these messages is, for all the shit Kuihman has rightfully got for essentially trying to opt a groomer out of their allegations, he was not the only one. So let's begin this dive into months-long insanity as a group of retards peer pressure themselves into defending the indefensible. In fact, you provided the connection to Cine in the first place.
Yeah, I provided the connections to Cine when I was drunk, when I was drinking, when I sent that message.
Much like a child that's going to be abused by its stepfather, this group chat began after one stupid, drunken mistake. Perhaps appropriately, the first message from Kumo is a burning man, which is pretty ironic in hindsight. Once everyone's made their quirky introductions, they get to the business of talking about Cinebear's upcoming video. And a wonderful theme begins to emerge. This group basically constructed Cinebear's defense. Now, I have it on testimony that quite a lot of things happen in calls.
Kuihman defended Evan do things against me, by the way. Yeah, and you fucking lost, and you were wrong. And I'm fair and based. And no one can ever say, I'm literally the fairest person. It's actually so crazy. Hey, and it's great that you bring that up, actually. I'm actually like the fairest person in the fucking world. It's because I will defend people that I don't like all the time. People that I hate, people I have no reason to defend, I will defend. I criticize people that it'd be very easy for me to just suck off all the time. Dude, I'm like so fair. I'm like so uniquely honest. You know, I'm just like, dude, it's crazy what you get coming to this stream. It's crazy. Okay, defend Himpleton right now. What would I defend Himpleton on? Himpleton deserves it.
So we're only really getting a snapshot of the wider picture. But one thing I can confirm...
But look, Beckett is not English. No, Beckett is not English. Beckett is fucking South African.
He constructed Cinebear's defense. Now, I have it on testimony that quite a lot of things happen in calls, so we're only really getting a snapshot of the wider picture. But one thing I can confirm is that the idea that Kuihman was trying to pull Cine away from this group to maintain some kind of control over the narrative does have legs, if for no other reason than the competing ideas and opinions within this group chat. Kuihman's involvement in this group chat is actually kind of limited, at least for driving the narrative. Now, there is a good reason for this. It's because
he's South African, but he moved to Britain, or lives in Britain. Has done for I think most of his life, right? I think. So it probably is. It probably does sound more British to most people. But, you know, I can tell. I can tell. You can tell. We can always tell.
Kuihman pulled Cinebear into direct DMs so he could have those conversations privately. And now we hit point 1 of ACC gay-opping drama. No one trusts any of the other people they're conducting a gay-op with. This is basically exactly what Jar tried to do. And because the best things in life come in threes, I was recently informed by Evan that there was another group chat called the Pegasus Girls, where a member of this chat who has been redacted, and RomanticGoblin herself, also pulled Cine into a separate group conversation. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, who the hell is this RomanticGoblin chick?
Okay, Goblin's been in Senate for almost the entirety of its existence. Very early on from when it came online to a few months before I archived it. Goblin took part, at least in terms of being an audience member, to the majority of the calls we had there when they weren't on hiatus, because they would disappear for months at a time. Okay, Goblin's been in Senate for almost the entirety of its existence. Very early on from when it came online to a few months before I archived it. Goblin took part, at least in terms of being an audience member, to the majority of the calls we had there when they weren't on hiatus, because they would disappear for months at a time. Had literally no problem, no issues in that server at all, at least none that they voiced, but only started taking issue when public opinion started turning. That's when Goblin decided, well, now I don't like Senate, now I'm going to talk about them constantly and make it into content. It's very obvious they are inconsistent in
Bro, I can't stand listening to fucking Leo's autistic rambling, man.
Their values.
It's fucking horrible.
To me that they don't care because it's just the internet stuff, but good lord, do they get attached. They actually do care. They just keep lying about it, I guess, to try to get cool points. Goblin is just a very strange person. I don't understand them at all.
There's no way this guy is using a Giga Chad profile picture.
I mean, my question is, Goblin seems to be hanging out here now.
Yep, Goblin peeks in the call occasionally here. Okay, that was creepy. In the calls occasionally here, primarily if Kumo hops in, I suppose. But it seems like they just don't care about what they've done recently either. They seem to think that it's a joke. Just a funny thing. Haha, that happened.
Goblin is, or in, well, point of fact, was an upcoming creator in the space. She made her name as an archivist during the Lyo convoy drama, but more recently had been streaming pretty regularly and trying to, well, gain some clout and recognition as a content creator in her own right. If Goblin has an archetype that they fit into, they're kind of like the hidden heroines.
Dude, I hate that these people keep leaving the internet. I feel like there is so much more. They could like embarrass themselves in so many more new and hilarious ways, but they just leave too fucking quick. It's so fucked up.
Crystal Flames, the Himpletons. The kind of people who kind of get the fireside chat of maybe stop talking before you actually annoy somebody. Speaking of, by the way, when I went to reach out to Evan for some kind of...
Yeah, true. I should chill the dono goal more. Guys, remember, there's a dono goal for the Felchening kick stream tomorrow with Stylo. Remember, there's a dono goal, guys. 486 people watching right now. 73 likes on the stream. If some of those 400 or so people could move their cursor to thumbs up and click it, or press thumbs up with the mobile device, that'd be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through a stream elements link that I'm pinning in the chat now. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships to the channel randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight your message and read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that will be highlighted in chat, and I'll describe to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Comment on this story? His first response to me was a DM telling me I'd lose, and that there was some drama involving me and Xylee. Which, I'm gonna level with you, confused the living fuck out of me. Firstly, I want to talk about this group chat. Secondly, you brought up confused the living fuck out.
Wait, what is this?
We stop talking before you actually annoy somebody. Speaking of, by the way, when I went to reach out to Evan for some kind of comment on this story, his first response to me was a DM telling me I'd lose.
Again, Beckett, you really want to play this game, you're going to lose. Because I was told some shit about you and Xylee did. And I don't want to believe it, so I was going to call you and hash this out. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Anyways, I'm at work.
And that there was some drama involving me and Xylee. Which...
Dude, imagine Evan getting like this with you in DMs. I would be fucking raging, dude. That would actually set me off. Evan going, you're going to play this game, you're going to lose.
I'm doing my part 07.
Thank you for the $20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll add that mentally. That's up to 8 on the goal there.
I'm gonna level with you, confused the living fuck out of me. Firstly, I want to talk about this group chat. Secondly, you brought up something between that me and Xylee did. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, no.
I've got
the reason why is because I wasn't gonna fucking put all my eggs in one basket. The main reason I'm not gonna fucking. This was just me as a friend coming to you, making sure like, hey, I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna double check because it could have been misconstrued.
I mean, as far as I'm,
that's what I asked. Is that it could just be a misunderstanding.
I mean,
so what I'm being told.
Yeah, Evan sounds so much like Tipster, man. It's crazy.
Making sure like, hey, I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna double check because it could have been misconstrued.
I mean, as far as I'm,
that's what I asked. Is that it could just be a misunderstanding. I mean, so what I'm being told is that you and Xylee were threatening Himpleton to blackball him.
And if you want to look into how this particular subsection works, here is Himpleton relaying a conversation I had on stream with him where he largely agreed with me, painting it as blackballing for some.
Yo, Himp, hey, you doing okay? Yeah, I'm still sick. Thank you for the $2. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't have to, you don't want, but I would really appreciate it. Did you see the whole thing with my server? I'm again sorry that happened. What happened? No, being offline, because these people are illiterate. This is fucking crazy. Okay, so basically I got pressured really hard from a ton of bigger YouTubers to let you go from the server, but I still like talking to you. It doesn't change much for me. Dude, Himpleton is like, why is he trying to riz like the ugliest, most freakish women you can find online? Ugliest, fattest, most freakish women you can find online. What is this guy's problem? I basically just got told it won't cut it off from that public way server-wise. They'd go with weird narratives and shit. I ain't gonna talk shit on you at all and did it very quietly, but that's what happened. So Himpleton got threatened to drop Goblin, he's saying.
Some bizarre reason. Also, I'm not entirely sure I'd refer to myself and Xylee Gets Real as a ton of bigger YouTubers. But don't worry, this DM from Himpleton is actually relevant and we will be coming back to the circumstances surrounding it. Around the 21st...
Thank you for the $10, Monk. Thank you.
Nervous sweat,
the group chat
sneering
starts
face,
to get into,
sneering face,
shall we say,
sneering
operational
face,
mode.
hungry face.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
We will be coming back to the circumstances surrounding it. Around the 21st of the 9th, the group chat starts to get into, shall we say, operational mode, with them posting different people's channels, including ChudLogic himself, and comments such as this one from Kumu, where he is literally offering to rewrite Cinny's script. The group itself seems to descend into full-on cope mode, seemingly treating the drama as a vindication of their own grievances as opposed to, you know, the fact that Cinny groomed a 14-year-old.
You know, this whole situation, Cinny Bear was put in this kind of like group chat to help, but then it turned over time. Once they realised that Cinny Bear was fucked, they wanted to fucking jump ship.
Thank you for the $10, Sugarlocks. Thank you.
Kickstream, DGG felched.
And so they had to do this kind of performative disavowal leading up to the call.
On the 22nd, we see the first mention of RomanticGoblin talking about a gun and mandatory wait times. And yes, this is the reason that RomanticGoblin recently did a gun safety stream, because she couldn't take being mocked for providing gun safety tips to a paranoid pedophile. Now, having spoken to 3 different people about this incident who have some knowledge of it, as far as I can tell, this was a joke said in a VC.
So we went over this the other day. I actually have a video on my channel about this the other day, about the Cinny gun situation. Okay, RomanticGoblin was apparently trying to get a gun for Cinny. Trying to put Cinny in contact with people who could get her a gun to defend herself from Jack and the others coming in to her apartment while she was away.
And then Goblin went and asked Vlad if he could sell a gun to somebody who wasn't black. And I'm sort of paraphrasing here. And while Goblin has maintained that this is a joke, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If Vlad had turned around and said, yeah, sure, I've got an armory, what do you want? There is no question in my mind that she would have accepted that offer for the little bit of clout it could have brought her. Perhaps it was this that started spelling trouble in paradise, as Nilla left the group around this time. But don't worry, Goblin was on top of it with a solid suggestion of the tone Cinny Bear should be taking in her video. Hey everyone, it's Cinny here, and I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff being said about me online lately, so I just want to set the record straight. First of all, let's talk about this whole thing with the
Thank you for the £10, thank you.
Stylo stream.
14-year-old. I know people are saying it's some big deal, but like, oh my god, she was talking to someone younger, but honestly, it wasn't that deep. Kids these days are way more mature than people give them credit for, and we were just chatting, nothing weird happened. You'll act like I was some predator or whatever, when really, it was just a normal conversation. People want to blow things out of proportion just because they need someone to hate, and apparently, that someone is me right now. And let me talk about Jack. That dude is straight up lying. I don't
No, what, this is a terrible script. This is meant to be her, like, comeback script?
ever when
Dude, dude. No wonder Kumo was trying to take control of the situation, okay? Do not let this goblin bitch do anything.
really
Can you say my name? Dude. What's even... Why? Why?
Chinese for management, ni hao bing bong pao chi jiao bing pao pao, Chinese for nothingness.
Thank you, Max, for the $10. Ni hao bing bao bo...
it was just a normal conversation. People want to blow things out of proportion just because they need someone to hate, and apparently that someone is me right now. And let me talk about Jack. That dude is straight up lying.
You're pushing it, man. Look, I'm pretty sure the warnings are on a policy by policy basis, okay? I'm pretty sure I just have to not violate the sexual one again.
I don't even know where he gets half the things he's saying about me. It's like he's just making things up for clout or attention. It's actually sad. He can't even keep his story straight half the time. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Jack's always been two-faced, saying one thing to me and then running off to the internet and saying something else. People need to start questioning his motives, instead of just blindly believing everything that comes out of his mouth. No one can, just him. He's a bipolar bitch. And yeah, some of you want to talk about my friends, the Cumward clan cult. Like, what's the big deal? Kumu and his crew have been nothing but good to me. People get so hung up on the name or whatever, but on—
Oh, how original, how original. You've got a name that begins with K, and you make up a KKK acronym to describe people. Wow, how original. Wow, good one, Kumo. Good one, Kumo. Everyone's really scared of your little internet group.
Honestly, they're just misunderstood. Yeah, they burn crosses for fun and wear white robes, but that's like their thing. It's not hurting anybody. And if you want to be part of something bigger, something real, maybe you should consider joining us. They're a tight-knit group, and honestly, that's more than I can say for most of y'all who'll just stab each other in the back. People want to freak out about how they cut Kumu into their skin to join, but honestly, it's a commitment. You just don't walk into the Cumward clan cult without proving you're serious. And before people lose their minds over that, think about how many of you get tattoos for way less meaningful reasons. At least this has purpose. So yeah.
Yeah, Max, that was the joke. That was the joke, because I did the same thing. That was a joke.
If you're tired of all the fake friends and liars, like me and everyone else, why not come check us out? I mean, I did, and I'm finally surrounded by people who have my back. So, if you're tired of the fakes, of the judgment, come join me in the Cumward clan cult. We're building something that actually matters. You know what? I've been thinking about all the hate I've been getting lately, and honestly, it reminds me of how some of the most influential people in history were treated. Like, take Hitler, for example. I know people are going to freak out because I even mentioned him, but hear me out. He had ideas that a lot of people didn't agree with, and yeah, things got intense, but at the core, he was condemned for thinking different.
RomanticGoblin's going to say what? You know RomanticGoblin says the 14 words. You know. You just imagine it in a fucking lispy voice too, can't you? We must secure it.
He wanted change, he had a vision, and just like that, everyone decided to paint him as the villain, because it didn't align with what they wanted to hear. Now, I'm not saying I'm out here trying to take over the world or anything like that, but I'm being condemned for my ideas, just like he was. People don't want to hear what I have to say because it doesn't fit their little perfect narrative. If you're not a cookie-cutter version of what they want to cancel you, tear you down, and act like you're the problem. But that's how it is, right? The truth makes people uncomfortable. They see me speaking out, they see me associating with groups like the Cumward clan cult, and they can't handle it. So they come after me, just like how people came after those who wanted to change the status quo. It's always the ones with big ideas, the ones who challenge the system, who get dragged through the mud. Look, I know people are going to try to twist what I'm saying here, but I don't care. I'm not here to play nice anymore. I'm done apologizing for being me, for aligning with people who actually support me. If that makes you mad, if that makes you uncomfortable, then maybe you should ask yourself why you're so quick to silence somebody with a different perspective. At the end of the day, history repeats itself, and the ones who are judged harshly now are often the ones remembered later. So yeah, keep talking, keep trying to cancel me. Just know that you're not the first, and you definitely won't be the last, to come after somebody with a voice. I'll keep standing by my beliefs, and I'm not afraid to be hated.
Yo, thank you, Jack, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
For it. Honestly, inspiring. I find myself close to tears. And as funny as messages like this one are, the group chat highlights that the narrative spun to people that Cinny was being condemned, that people understood that what she'd done was wrong within it, is just not accurate. In Goblin's notes for the slug shit, she highlights that Cinny apparently didn't know that the 14-year-old had been groomed previously, and also that the 14-year-old lies about being pressured to keep in contact with Cinny. Whichever way you
Wait, groomed previously? This kid's just getting groomed all over the place?
paint this group was trying to discredit a 14-year-old grooming victim. So comments like this one from Evan saying, "I just want to gay ops them so bad," shouldn't come as much of a surprise. And while the narrative that's been spun to me is,
Bro, why are you out here saying, "I want to gay op them"? You are so retarded. You are so low IQ, it's crazy.
one of disengagement.
You want to know why I fucking said the shit I said? It's because I was fucking trolling some of the people who were acting like they knew about any of this shit. You know what I had to deal with daily? I had to listen to the entire fucking thing get talked about over and over again. You know the definition of insanity? I had to live through it for almost an entire month.
Comments like this from Evan, the reason why people are now starting to change their tune is because of how Kumu and Goblin and me have been questioning and prodding stuff, speak of a much closer involvement in this story and much more investment in it, or at least the kudos it could bring the members of this little cabal. It's around this time also we begin to see messages from someone noted as redacted. Now, I don't know who this is, no one will tell me, that's fine, but let's talk about the hangers-on, the chatters, the additional people in ACC dramas who sort of flutter around the edges. In this case, we have another nice trinity, and that is Nilla, this redacted, and Ren. Now, I haven't focused in on any of these people, and I'm not really planning to here. The fact that redacted gets to be redacted seems a little unfair to me, and my understanding is that Ren has already been well run off in the fallout. But allow me to make a prediction. Much like Goblin herself, the random chatters of today, the random members of places like Senate in the past, are the gay-opping wannabe content creators of the future, so don't be surprised if one of, if not all three, come out in a future drama where they think they can get a stab in at somebody they hate. After this video, it might even be me. But anyway, back to the ops, as we can see Goblin walk Cinny through, getting Jack's Discord ID so they can hack their account. On the 4th of the 10th, Kumu would actually leave the group, citing a message that was pointed out to him between Cinny and the 14-year-old, though this doesn't seem to sway other members who hang on. Now, the remainder of this group, don't be surprised if one of, if not all three, come out in a future drama where they think they can get a stab in at somebody they hate. After this video, it might even be me. But anyway, back to the ops, as we can see Goblin walk Cinny through, getting Jack's Discord ID so they can hack their account. On the 4th of the 10th, Kumu would actually leave the group, citing a message that was pointed out to him between Cinny and the 14-year-old, though this doesn't seem to sway other members who hang on. Now, the remainder of this group chat is largely redacted and Goblin trying to steer this increasingly unstable individual in the direction they want them. But other than some notes about the Chud stream going terribly and the fact that Kuihman apparently called her a pedo, which is fantastic.
It's shorthand. It's humorous shorthand. It's humorous shorthand. I always clarify what I mean. Okay.
And no surprise,
yeah, lowercase p.
Did not like Kuihman very much, it seems. The rest of the chat pretty much dies off around this time as we get closer and closer to the implosion level. But finally, I want to talk about why I'm talking about this, aside from the fact that it's a pretty good example of how these things work. It's because Goblin couldn't shut the fuck up. In the earlier interview you saw with Lio Convoy, he mentions that Goblin is just hanging out in Guac Barrel now. Now to most of you, that won't mean anything. But essentially what Goblin is currently doing is, having been kicked from everyone else's servers, she's now hanging out in the Old Guard Senate server with people like Lio. And this hasn't been some gradual change over time, it's just that they're the only people who'll let her in, as that server is treated as a neutral space. And let's wheel back around to talk about Himpleton for a second. I had a stream a little while ago where it's basically chill out, watch some content, play video games. Trying to get better at making that members content. By the way, it is terrible. But we were reacting to Himpleton's conversation with Slimebeast. And I basically invited Himpleton to come on to just talk about some of the criticisms for him.
Really wanting to just kind of...
Criticisms for Himpleton. Number one, you are gay. That's pretty much it. I just kind of don't like this guy. Gotta be real. I don't know I've got any real criticisms. I don't know who would care. Like the Slimebeast stuff and the Jar stuff, like who actually gives a fuck? Oh, Himpleton's talking to Jar. Himpleton's looking for clout. Sucking Jar off behind the scenes. Like, okay. I just don't like him. Just don't like him. Number two, he's right. Okay.
Take a break to...
He also looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like, really reassess what I want out of streaming. And just reorganize myself so that I can kind of have...
Check this fucking loser's mannerisms in this segment. What, you mean the fucking guidance counselor attitude?
Really reassess what I want out of streaming. And just reorganize myself so that I can kind of have just some space from like the whole, like kind of exactly what you're saying, where it's like this, I'm at like a crossroads, you know? And I want to take a couple of weeks to literally just like kind of definitively get ready to turn away from I guess Turd Island, whatever the fuck that is, and like become become like the fucking, you know, a fucking actual normal streamer who like pulls in content, you know.
The thing is, that what you want to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because listen, for the people who do community streams, if they're happy doing those streams, there's nothing wrong with that. It's your channel. Do what you want. But like, I used to do chill streams all the time. I don't do them anymore because the amount of shit that I caught because of those streams, I don't want to deal with it anymore.
That's
why I don't do my chill streams
You
anymore.
can also, I mean, you can do both, right? You can.
During that conversation, we pointed out to Himpleton that people like Goblin, and this is not isolated to Goblin, are using his platform.
Xylee Freaks needs to go, dude. She does talk like she got fucking marbles in her mouth, doesn't she?
But like, I used to do chill streams
she might
all the
actually
time.
be eating.
I don't
She
do
might
them
actually
anymore
be eating.
because the amount of shit that I caught because of those
Stuff in
streams,
her fucking
I don't
face.
want to deal with it anymore.
That's
That's why I don't do my chill streams
You
anymore.
can also, I mean, you can.
I
You can
don't do my
both,
chill
right?
streams
You can-
anymore. Spraying fucking burrito all over her desk.
That's why I don't do my chill streams
You can
anymore.
also, I mean, you can do both, right? You can.
During that conversation, we pointed out to Himpleton that people like Goblin, and this is not isolated to Goblin, are using his platform as a safe space to chat shit, and that was going to reflect on him and how other people saw him and his channel. I think my exact words were, Goblin is a threat to you by being a liability. Himpleton agrees with this. And it's in reference to the fact that Goblin went on Himpleton's stream to basically take shots at commentary, particularly vague posting in the direction of Chris the Narc. I cannot stress enough that if Goblin had just shut the hell up, I would not be making this video, and people probably wouldn't be talking about the group chat. And that gun safety stream in particular is insane, with Goblin actively platforming somebody who is known in the community for spamming Lyo Convoy's address in chats. This dude has been banned from everywhere.
Okay, but to be honest, there's a lot of people that fucking spam the chats.
Also, yeah, there's a lot of people named after us. How do you know for certain it's me? Huh?
Dude, this guy was fucking unbearable.
Well, other than the fact that I actually just confirmed it. Which I'm doing just to flex on you. I mean, what the fuck can you do to me? Seriously, like, bitch about it, cry about it, moan about it.
trying to dox.
Oh my god, you spammed us. What?
Yeah, okay, I'm just reading out. I'm pretty sure after I was just the guy who spammed people's comments trying to dox Lyo. Okay.
Yes, I was! Yes, I was!
Okay, but like, Lyo's doxed himself and his dox is out there. I kind of don't give a shit.
But it would be shortly after my conversation with her that Goblin would delete her channel, which is becoming a habit for people when I am covering them. That's Crystal, Scarlet Reaper, and now Goblin. Please stop, I'm trying to make content out of you. Please stop deleting your shit.
That's so gay, man.
Thought, Vlad was also in this group chat.
Who deletes their
channels?
channels?
Us our fourth
okay, Colton. We need more doxing and commentary. All right, man.
Category of ATC gay ops. The people who were dragged in who really, desperately don't give a shit. His posts are minimal and are incredibly unsympathetic. But that's all I've got for you on this. More videos and projects coming up. And a big thank you to our molding members Ellington Moose, Sony Locks, and Star Sprinter.
Wow. What a great video, guys. Jesus Christ, stop. It was underwhelming. I mean, it was just like having a niche autistic side story for drama, right? I don't think it was meant to be anything more than that. I like the smile, says Morale. See, look, why can't you guys be more positive like Morale? Why are you all haters? Why are you all haters? So, last night we watched the Beckett video on RomanticGoblin and Himpleton. And tonight we're watching... What is this? It's like Aiden calls Beckett and Himpleton, and they talk about the drama. Basically, Himpleton accused Becky and Xylee of trying to blacklist him if he didn't ban RomanticGoblin from his Discord server, okay? That's the basic rundown here. So let's take a look.
Right. Conversation that is...
I don't even know if we're gonna have these on screen. I'm not gonna risk it.
What did I see in her? Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like, you had this person around in your circles. A lot of people knew that a lot of people knew that this person had like swept for Jar, had like made this crazy ass statement.
Swept for Jar? You mean Kumo?
Or sorry, Kumo. Yeah.
Stylo. Please discuss how Aiden made the stream full screen. Those fucked up gobbled baby. Dude. I gotta say, he's like the one guy who looks like more like a Jew than me right now. Like it's impressive. Much tighter curls, more Jewish face, just like in the expressions of his face. Yeah, he looks like Ralph the Movie Maker.
Yeah, but I guess yeah, sorry, I didn't mean Jar. Had swept for Kumo. You kept this person in your circles. So what did you see in them? Like, what was what did you like about them? Why'd you have them around?
They were very informed with some ACC stuff, and like as I'd be talking about stuff on streams and stuff like that, they would send me you know, info that like, and you know, clips and stuff like that.
Okay. I got you. Okay, I got you. Now, I guess, Beckett, what issue did you take with Himpleton having this person around?
I didn't take issue with having with Himpleton having Goblin around.
Yeah.
I spoke to Himpleton and said, like, that whole thing was basically... Sorry, I'm just going to set out a baseline. I had a conversation with Himpleton because Himpleton has had multiple sort of fireside chats about the streams he does, like the fallout from them, how people see them, and what Himpleton wants. Now, that's fine. I don't give a fuck if people like listen to my opinions. I'm surprised any of you do. But what I take issue with is the fact that I have had 3 different people from different groups now send me messages of, are you trying to blackball people? Are you trying to tell people how to run their shows and their content? Because that's what's swirling. And then I saw the DM between Goblin and Himpleton, and that's like the baseline. So, like, if you disagree with me, say you disagree with me, that's fine. Like, in the clip I showed, we're not telling you how to run your stream. We're telling you about the impacts that might have on how people see you. That's not me blackballing. I don't give a fuck. My biggest thing is people telling me I don't blackball people enough, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would think that Becky is blackballing when this guy literally sits in fucking DMs with Leo Convoy all day talking about their favorite Carmen Rider toys.
So I kind of want to know, like, why you had a stream with me, went to Goblin and said a ton of larger YouTubers will say they'll say weird things about the server if I keep you, when that's not what we said at all. And also, final point, just last one. Also, I was fucking right. Like, Xylee and I said to you that Goblin is a liability and that will reflect on you. And look where you fucking are.
Exactly. No, absolutely. You were. You know, I said this just like, albeit briefly, and I know that you've been busy. Like, I haven't expected you to like fucking see this or anything. But like I said, you know, kind of explain this in call.
God, he has got such a fucking Jufro, hasn't he, dude? This is crazy. Bro, this is the most Jewish motherfucker I've ever seen.
Sorry. DM. But basically, like, as you said, like, I was majority fucking agreeing on that call.
He's got like that miserable, like, Larry David face as well, hasn't he? Like, he's just resting bitch face constantly.
As to why I was not, like, really starting to not trust her. Like, it was a conversation more than anything, or at least that's how it felt to me. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, to me, it felt like it was just a conversation. I fucked up by, like,
I'm gonna stop being
overly nice
Aiden now.
to Goblin. And
looks like a failed J-Reg clone.
But like, and that's what I apologize for in DMs, just like throwing y'all under the bus. I
don't understand why, because that was a member's stream.
Stylo
like Goblin wouldn't see it. She doesn't come around my content anymore.
And so that was kind of, so I was trying to do that thing where it's like, you know, if you're firing somebody, you're like kind of letting them down easy or whatever. And like, I was being a fucking retard and just didn't think that it would come back around. And so when I said, like, I just didn't say any names in the hopes that she would.
Well, a ton of bigger YouTubers. I'm flattered, but like, let's be honest. I'm fucking D tier at the very best of times. Like, hold on, can we bring these DMs up? Can we just can we bring these?
Yo, Beckett thinks he's D tier. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. You ain't even on the alphabet. You're not even on the alphabet. Fuck you mean?
Because
I just want to be clear what we're talking about. Aiden, I've sent them to you. Like if you bring them up on screen, I'll read them out. Because you're framing this as part of a wider conversation, and it feels like a very short snippet of a conversation, right?
I don't know why I'm just being so mean right now. I don't know why I'm being so mean. I'm just being an asshole for no reason.
Screen so you guys can.
Beckett mocks you, little
gob.
Well, we know. I've been clipping you all fucking night.
I'm jubilant. Okay, I'm not being mean. I'm being jubilant.
Yo, Himp. Hey, how you doing? I'm okay. Still redacted. I'm assuming sick or something. Himpleton, you don't have to if you don't want to, but would really appreciate it. Would the whole? Did you see the whole thing with my server? Again, I'm sorry that happened. That's you bringing the server stuff up, not Goblin. Goblin.
Wait. Okay, let's wind this back a minute.
Go from the server, which again wasn't true. We were just like, hey, if you bring this person on without pushback, you're probably people are gonna be like, well, why the fuck? In the same way, like Burn the World's getting with Maggot, like you're platforming this person to talk shit with no pushback. Yeah, but I still like talking to you, and it doesn't change much for me. I basically just got told if I didn't cut you off from that public way server-wise, they'd go with weird narratives and shit. Don't know what you mean by that. I ain't gonna shit talk on you at all, and I did it very quietly, but that's what happened. I mean, why bring it up at all?
And this is just like me being, and this is where there's just like a lot of.
She will have 2 children. Okay.
Just honestly, like not like reflecting, but just like need to improve and like fucking change some shit on my end. I like I didn't want it to seem like it was me like fucking hating her. And I think I just like at the time just wanted to defer and like, because look, the only missing context here is just the fact that like she was depressed posting like in my DMs a fucking lot before this. And like when, so like well, I'm not gonna out any personal shit, but like of hers, right? But like she was kind of going through shit personally, not even just like with the drama and stuff. And when I banned her from the server, I was just like, oh, well, I don't want her to think that like I'm also somebody who hates her. And so, you know, being a pussy, because I could have just been like, hey, like I have a problem with this stuff. And like, also it's just kind of a liability, which I feel like she would have understood. I just fucking deferred. And because I knew it was like a membership stream, so like I didn't think she was ever gonna, you know, watch it or anything. And I didn't think that she would know who I was even talking about.
But what is this guy even rambling about?
It was like a membership stream. So like I didn't think she was ever gonna, you know, watch it or anything. And I didn't think that she would know who I was even talking about.
I mean, well,
and, like,
she did, because like I've had a lot of
I know
DMs about it.
I know.
So okay, so Himpleton lied to Goblin to spare her feelings. Is that basically it? Because this guy rambles. He's got a very threed mindset. Very threed attitude, threed demeanor. Rambles a lot, talks in circles. So I'm struggling to just maintain my attention here. He lies a lot in this call, really? Okay. I feel like we're starting to figure out what's going on.
Right?
I know.
But, like that's fine. Like fucking of all the grand schemes of like Beckett's blackballing people, like I give a fuck. Well, it's just and like it's a weird one to hear, because like you've got to remember, like there's a.
But why would you even want to keep a connection with someone like that? Like, I don't even get it. Is he actually just trying to have an e-harem? That's the only motivation I can imagine. But even then, she's like, fuck it, she's a fucking beat freak. But is he must be trying to have an e-harem, because she's totally useless. Yes, genuinely yes, says Morale. Morale saying he wants an e-harem, because I can understand if she had like, if she was like useful somehow. You know, if she was good at something, I could understand going to these lengths. If she was like really good at something, there was something she did for you regularly that was like a huge help to your channel or content or whatever, or even your Discord gay ops, whatever. She was useful, I would get it, but she's not. She's like worthless. She's a good source for information, No, she's not. She's retarded.
What a context to this, dude. Because, you know, you jumped on a live stream. You talked about the fact that you were like having multiple conversations with Jar. You've had like a range of like sort of mini live controversies, and it's like one of the core ones is this sort of Kuihman thing, and the way that gets painted is like you basically trying to set Kuihman up.
Oh my god, dude, that one's crazy. Okay, we can talk about that in a second, but can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to like make it really clear. I was not the person, like, and I understand like definitely how it could seem like that from the DM itself, and like how somebody could get that, but like I never said the word blackball. I don't think that it makes it anything better, like what I did or anything. I don't think that makes it much better. But like I just want to make it clear to you separately from that like I never said blackball. That was never like something I was trying to run with or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, how do you feel about like how this is going? Because right, like this doesn't seem to have had like a good outcome in the last like week and a half for
no
some of your conversations coming out.
I mean, for me, like the biggest thing is just this like kind of fucking retarded idea of like not wanting like caring way too much about kind of a rather not in a bad way, but like a very transactional kind of. The biggest thing is just this like kind of fucking retarded idea of like not wanting like caring way too much about kind of a rather not in a bad way, but like a very transactional kind of relationship like that I had with Goblin.
I mean, is that how you're viewing these relationships? Are you viewing them as transactional, or are you viewing them as friendships? Because there's two separate sides to this, right? Like people are either content to you, or they're like your friends.
That's why I asked, what are you getting?
I think it's a case by case basis. You know what I mean? Like with Goblin, like I mean, there were times where we had, I guess, like we really didn't ever talk about anything personal as a thing. It was almost always just about.
Why are you talking about personal things to people online anyway? Why are you doing that?
Content.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What would you say to the allegation that you just kept Goblin around? So that's like a fair assessment. I mean, that's kind of, it sounds like
Goblin around what? What does kid say?
Gathering. So that's like a fair assessment.
What
I mean,
the fuck this kid just say?
So that's like a fair assessment. I mean, that's kind of, it sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know how that's an allegation.
Oh yeah, so that seems like what you're admitting to. Okay, so that's what people are saying. But like when you say like
gathering
like
information,
relationship, whatever, it sounds like you guys were almost friends.
I mean, we were friendly, right?
Okay, I got you.
Like I'm not disputing that. Like I was friendly to her.
That's fair. I'm just trying to establish what was essentially going on. But I guess why were you so conflicted? Why were you so conflicted about cutting her off then? If it was like purely,
it wasn't. I was conflicted about cutting her off. It's that I mean, and I don't even think that's what's at dispute here, unless you're talking about something different. And then correct me if I'm wrong. But like for me, it was more just about, or what feels like kind of is at stake here, or what's being talked about is like more like the way that I handle
full screen Aiden. Full screen Aiden.
Her getting banned to her.
This guy's so retarded.
And you know, again, like that's just like me not wanting to fucking not wanting her to think that that I hated her at this time that I knew was very stressful for her. And so instead of just like handling it with some
he's AGP,
you know, tact or whatever, I shot.
He's AGP as fuck. He's got the AGP staring into the camera, examining himself constantly.
The bed and was retarded.
Do you like? Is that sort of attitude
single motherborn narcissism
of the conversations you're having with Jar and how you're treating that relationship?
Can you elaborate just a little bit? I'm sorry.
Well, you're saying
streaming from a flat pack showroom.
You don't want to let Goblin
guys. We gotta
down,
stop just slating Aiden. Okay, we gotta stop just slating Aiden.
Of the conversations you're having with Jar and how you're treating that relationship.
Can you elaborate just a little bit? I'm sorry.
Well, you're saying you don't want to let Goblin down, but you just view Goblin as content. And I mean, like that's an interesting way to put somebody who is, you know, at the center
well, that's
of
not okay. Well,
but it doesn't go further than that. But you're still letting somebody down easily. Like if I've got a relationship with somebody who's purely content,
or
like majority content, like we're not hanging out, we're not friends. It's like, okay, cool. Well, we've just hit a point where I'm not working with you anymore. It doesn't need more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, my question is, you're having these conversations with Jar. You're saying, well, you know, you're a listening ear for him. That's helping you with your own stuff. I mean, if 10 out, you know, you said you had 10 calls. I'm assuming these are multiple hours long. So if you dropped a 20-hour video with Jar's calls, is this representative? Like you're like almost leading Jar to kind of, oh well, I don't want to be too mean to him, or are you kind of cutthroat with him and being like, well, this is content. We're trying to get to the truth here. Like, how does that relationship look?
Okay, well, so you just said a lot there, so I'm just going to address it kind of one at a time, if that's okay.
Sure.
So like, first of all,
guys, I may speed this up in a minute. This is like fucking so dry. No, am I crazy? Are people like really enjoying this? I just try. This is how it goes every time Himpleton's on a stream. He's just sitting there going, "Yeah, I suppose I didn't really think about it like that. I was just like, we were friends. I didn't want to be mean to them." It's just this is every conversation with Himpleton. It's like, fuck me. I'm surprised you're even covering this, to be honest. Though, Shelby, you were in chat saying hi, future Kuihman viewers. What do you mean you're surprised I'm covering this? Why are you changing your mind 24 hours later? I was not expecting that to become true. Okay. Shelby is so attention hungry.
I didn't view Goblin as content. She like brought me information and stuff like that. And like I said, I was friendly with her. And even if things were kind of like more in a professional sense, like she, you know, when I knew that things were going really badly for her, I reached out to make sure she was like okay, but that was the extent of like personal stuff that happened. Just more like, hey, are you okay? Like that kind of thing. And when I knew that she was in this turmoil, even though like, yes, we had like not a huge friendship or whatever, I was just wanting to like I still have empathy for the situation, if that makes sense. And you know, was worried on that level. Where, you know, I know what you mean. Like, I don't think I should have necessarily been, but that's how I was at the time. And I just like, you know, she was going through a lot, and she was, you know, not being like schizo, but she was just like ranting a lot about just kind of different stuff that she was going through. And I was concerned that I would, you know, just add to the kind of fucking spiral if she like somehow thought that I hated her or something. And so I handled it like a fucking retarded pussy. And so with Jar, I haven't led him on to things, but then at the same time, I haven't necessarily, I don't know, like,
I mean, okay. I want to push on this. When you say you haven't led Jar onto things, I mean, you're having multiple calls with him. We know how I know how Jar works from talking to him and looking into him. Like, is he aware of that, or is he viewing you as a friend?
I am almost positive that he views this as like a pretty just like business.
Okay, all right. I gotta jump in here. I gotta jump in here. I'm sorry. I really do gotta jump in. Let's be complete. Okay. Let's be. I'm not trying to fucking own you or anything. Let's be just like 100% transparent here. You do know that he views you as a friend, because you did say to me that anyone who shows Jar attention, he's just, the guy is so desperate for friends, he'll talk to you when you show him like a little bit of attention. Because like that's like when you were selling this to me, that is what you said.
I know, but wait. Like, that's not me saying that like he views me as like a friend in so much as he like wants to talk to me, because he like just automatically assumes that there is some level of like something I don't know. I don't even think I'm making sense. But like, that's not me saying that he like thinks we're like besties. Like that's not what I meant by that.
But you knew that by talking to the guy.
What is that face Aiden's pulling? Is very off-putting. It's just his resting face, dude. I'm telling you, he's got like that. I don't know how. I feel like I'm being anti-Semitic. I feel like I get to say it, but he's got like that disgusted, miserable Larry David expression on him all the time. That's just how his face sits. Like
that's not me saying that like he views me as like a friend in so much as he like wants to talk to me because he like just automatically assumes that there is some level of like something. I don't know.
Resting producer face.
But like, that's not me saying that he like thinks we're like besties. Like that's not what I meant by that.
But you knew that by talking to the guy, you knew the guy's pathology. You knew he was so desperate for friends that by telling him what he wants to hear, which definitely sounds like you were doing for the sake of content, he was gonna like latch on to you and give you everything you wanted.
There was never a point at which I was telling him what he wanted to hear. Like my first call with Jar is already like completely leaked, or part of it has. And you know, a lot of people have watched it. I think it gives a very good idea of what those sounded like, those calls. A lot of what I did was just clarify and ask for information, and a lot of just info gathering. But
do you think Jar has said things to you that he wouldn't have said if he didn't think you were friendly?
I mean, that just feels a little loaded because of the fact that like I don't feel like he would talk to many people right now, period, if they weren't kind of coming on with a like non-hostile attitude, if that makes sense. After like especially after the Chud stuff.
Yeah, but I said this to you. I've said this to you in VC. The way you went about getting his trust was outright.
Sometimes I wonder if you're Jewish for the jokes. I count ethnically, but honestly, the way I feel about this stuff is literally you count as, I think you count as Jewish, or like you count as whatever society treats you as, you know? That's what I think. Like if you get treated as black, you're black. If you get treated as a Jew, you're a Jew. It's not, I'm treated as Chinese. That's based. I treat you like an F-star. Okay, dude. Sadly, I have to time you out briefly for that comment because you used a very bad slur. But yeah, I feel like you just, whatever, it's how I treat you. I don't know how else you, I thought that's the best way of delineating it. Answer the question. Unironically, I think you get to claim LGBT shit if you get treated as gay. Yeah. If you're like Tony Hinchcliffe, like an effeminate, lispy man who everyone assumes is gay, I feel like you kind of get to claim some of that minority status.
Deception. Which is why, because you made him think that you were...
Smith, I don't believe you actually get treated as Jewish. I know you claim this. But I don't believe you actually get treated as Jewish. I don't believe that for a second. There is no way there is no way anyone has ever called you the K-slur. There is no way that's ever happened in like any serious way. I saw Smith called into Mr. Girl last night. I got banned on my main. Sweet. Okay. That is your main. That's got the verified check. What you mean? 5,000 sub channels your main. What you mean?
You were on his side completely. When Jar came and DM'd me,
Style is banned you already.
Side, which is how it was sold. I corrected him saying, no, I don't agree with you at all on this. But I would like to, I get that people don't word themselves very well in the moment on streams, as you did with Chud, so I'd be willing to hear out a response when you come up with it, which is what I really believed. So I wasn't really deceiving him on that. You made him think that you were going to help him get out of this, right? Or like try to help him with this, right?
Okay. I don't know, like, if I've just been like butchering the shit out of it when I talk about it, but like, you watch the first call, my like viewpoint and the way that I operate with it is pretty clear. I have a bunch of criticisms for him. I have a bunch of questions. Like I make it clear that there's quite a few things in the video that I do not agree with. I
get treated as Jewish by some Jews, but not non-Jews. Yeah, I don't think that counts. I think part of it is that you have to get the negatives of it. If you just get treated preferentially by some Jews that you meet because they think you might be Jewish, I don't think that really counts. I feel like you have to be getting the drawbacks. You have to be getting treated as it by people who aren't that thing. Like with like with being black, right? If you're the type of person that might get called the N-word, or might get turned down from a job, or comes from a family that's adversely affected by slavery, like, you know, those sorts of things. what? Really qualify you for being black. Thank you for the membership, Godspeed. Can I claim Jew status from a technicality? Well, I do tell white supremacists that I'm Jewish now, lol. It freaks me out, but it's my mission to get the armband. Okay, dude.
I also,
that's enough.
When he explains certain things, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, it will be good to kind of hear that in, like, a response. Like, the fucking thing about the editor putting the casting couch stuff in there. But, like, I haven't, and I've been pretty consistent about the fact that, like, I haven't said anything about, like, you know, I'm gonna, like, ease him through the controversy or anything like that. Like, he's also been, like, very clear that he is doing that alone, right?
Grim pays his Jenny to like Destiny. You are crazy if you think Stylo's getting that money.
The bit, like, the whole thing that people use, or have used or whatever, like, where they're like, oh, like, he's bragging about getting a shout out, like, blah, blah, blah. I was brutalizing that. Like, it's not a shout out per se, in so much as he's using the first call, which is, again, public, that he had with me, where I basically convinced him that Cindy Bear actually was a groomer. He's using that to show, like, that's what caused him to kind of change his mind on things.
Aiden being banned for being Jewish and no other reason, just for being Jewish. I'm getting distracted from this fucking video.
Like, it's not a shout out per se, in so much as he's using the first call, which is, again, public, that he had with me, where I basically convinced him that Cindy Bear actually was a groomer. He's using that to show, like, that's what caused him to kind of change his mind on things. So, like, it's really just a contextual clip. So, you know.
I'm gonna kick stream B. Stylo, how long are you around? I was thinking probably in, like, either an hour 20 or 2 hours 20. Yo, thank you for the 10 gifted. I was actually just about to chill. I'm here all night. Yeah, so it's either probably like 2 hours 20, I'd imagine. Something like that. Alright, guys. I'm going to do a quick chill. Okay, 430 people watching. 50 likes on the stream. If some of those almost 400 people could please do the bare minimum and move their cursor, thumbs up, and click it, or press the thumbs up on the mobile device, that would be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through a Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel like Biblically Accurate Angel just did. Thank you for the membership. Gift a membership to the channel. Gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. Buy a super chat, which will highlight your message and read it on TTS. Or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that will be highlighted in chat, and I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll throw the kick link in the chat soon.
I think it's about as much of a shout out as Beckett's video, except obviously kind of different tone. But yeah, I'm being, like, so serious right now. I'm, like, fucking exhausted, so I'm very sorry if I'm brutalizing any of this.
No, I get it, and I get not everybody's good in the moment. So, like, if you, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not doing debate bro mode here or whatever. Like, I get not everyone's good in the moment. And, like, obviously, if, like, at a time you get better sleep, if you want to come back on and clarify, always, like, I'm trying to be just very fair here. I haven't really taken, like, a solid position. But
sure.
I'm just saying, essentially, like, based on the way you worded the jar thing to me, it did sound like indistinguishable for the sake of getting content. Which, to be honest, I don't think that's the end of the fucking world. You're not the first small commentary spurg to go and do that, okay? It's not the end of the world, but I just wish you would kind of, like, say it. Yes, I was gay-opping Jar because I wanted content, which is, you know, obviously it's, like, it's sneaky or whatever, but that's not the end of the fucking world if you're being upfront about it here.
Well, here's my thing, Aiden. Like, I'm not trying to not be upfront about it. The thing is, like, obviously, I'm not, like, speaking to Jar because I want to be, like, I want to talk to him, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I never even thought that it's, like, a question of whether this is for content and information and stuff like that. Like, I've always been, the purpose was always to gather information. I mean, I made that clear to Jar. That's my thing.
But you weren't upfront with him about everything. Can you say that? You were, like, you definitely played things to gain his favor, like, said things differently maybe that you might not have believed.
I don't know what I never...
I guess I just don't even care that Himpleton was speaking to Jar. Like, I actually don't give a fuck. I can't get interested in any aspect of this. I struggled with the first clip, the slime beast thing too. I actually do not care that he was speaking to Jar. Speak to Jar, bro. Be friends with him. I don't care. Write his video for him.
At any point, I'm like, dude, I agree with you, like, your entire fucking, like, video, or, like, dude, like, I don't think I'm, like, genuinely, like, Well, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm genuinely like searching my like the interactions and like trying to like think of a time where I would have said something that's like untrue to him. Like the only I literally can't think of anything that I've said to him that is untrue. I guess.
Kuihman's pro gay upping. If it's funny, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you? Is there any way you could like?
Yeah, exactly. If you help him come back, do it quicker. I'd love some more jar content to cover. You crazy?
Phrase that in a different way. Like, I just don't exactly know what you mean.
Okay, so you admit you're talking to Jar for the sake of obtaining information. That's common ground we can agree on. Okay. For the sake of obtaining that information, was there ever a time you like overplayed maybe how much you supported him, or said something in a way more favorable to him than what you actually believed to gain his support?
I literally cannot think of a single time that I did. I definitely...
The Jar stream wasn't just the peak of Chud's streams for the past like month or two. That's like an all-timer stream. That's like at least top 10, maybe top 5. That was like, that created like 2 months of content, basically. We're still feeling it now.
I mean, I think more than anything, I was just like kind of reserved. Like, instead of being like, you know, if he said something that weirded me out or whatever, right? Like, I wouldn't just be like, well, what do you, like, what the fuck? Like, that's bad. Like, I just wouldn't necessarily say anything about it, or just be like, oh, okay. Like, okay, so I guess within itself, like, that is not fully transparent. Because I mean, I guess like,
do you think there's any response Jar can give to the stuff that's been said about him?
Yes.
Okay. So you think there's, I don't know, like a plausible deniability or a level where he's like not as culpable as people are painting him?
I'm not gonna lie, man. You'd kind of have to be a little more specific.
Okay. Do you think that there's an excuse for Jar befriending Cinebear to try and build up a content group? Because that's what Jar was doing, just to be clear. Because I've spoken to a couple of other people who know Jar, who were like, yeah, we can. And Jar was like, we can bring Cinebear in as part of our new group, because he was trying to rebuild the ACC friendship group. It was like that was his intention, and it seems like he was quite happy to overlook everything Cinebear had done just to achieve that goal. Do you think there's a way around that for Jar?
I think that the big thing for me was that, like, once he learned the facts that I gave him in that first call, that is what he needed to understand that she was a groomer, or at least that's what.
It's not illegal. And to be honest, I don't even care if they want like a groomer in their content friendship group. I don't care about that. It's like, the thing is, you gotta own whatever they're doing. You know, that has to be all up front. It's like with Mrao, you know? I constantly point out that this guy wants to fuck teenagers. I constantly do. I feel fine. I'm fine supporting Mrao a little bit because I constantly point out that he wants to fuck teenagers. So I'm not sweeping. You can't make a video about how Cine totally did nothing wrong and was actually had no ill intentions whatsoever, had no interest in this kid at all. And just, you know, it wasn't in any way grooming, and totally obfuscate a bunch of shit and do like a softball interview with them, and then just be like, oh yeah, they're cool with this now. Forget about those controversies. No, you have to own the controversy. You have to just say, that happened. This is what happened.
He presented to me.
Okay, so your argument here, just
Mrao is a spawn camper, that's facts.
So you're saying you presented facts to Jar that Cinebear was a groomer, and that's why he had a turnaround.
That is, yeah, I mean, it's in the video. Like, it's public. Like,
well, I mean, okay. Part of the problem here is like how Jar works, and this is why, like, looking at this, I'm like, okay, you've got a situation where you've got access to Jar, you're having multiple conversations with him and kind of helping him through his response, saying, yeah, there's ways he can respond. But Jar, in this case, was very much caught with his hand in the cookie jar of how he generally behaves. This isn't unique to Cinebear. This is just how Jar behaves. So if you're talking him through and going, well, oh no, he realized Cinebear was a groomer. My argument would be, he wouldn't care. Like, Jar doesn't care if his friends do things wrong. He only cares that they're his friends and they will have a kind of giving relationship with him. You can actually see that in his DMs with Goblin. It's like, oh, you know, you need to come in my comment section and fight for me. So like, how much pushback realistically are you presenting? Where you just going, well, Jar didn't know actually the definition of groomer after being involved in multiple like pedo hunt dramas, and now he does. We can kind of forgive that. There's a point of moving past.
Wait, sorry, was there a question there? Like, I think the thing that I'm Jeez, sorry. I mean, that first call, again, public.
Rao tunes into every single Kuihman stream. I need to get called a teen fucker every 10 minutes. Like, it's just too funny. It's too funny. I'm sorry. Rao trying to fuck teenagers is just too epic. What a great little arc. What a great little arc. Coach him Rao into learning to accept it.
Shows, you know, me giving additional information that a lot of people, including fucking Kumo, until I told them about
Give
it.
Give him regular break.
The stuff about, for instance, the long calls that they had where Cinny got Eno to read the comic out loud. That was one of the examples that I gave. Another one was just pointing out that the NSFW art that Eno was drawing was, like, some of it was directly related to.
I'd give almost anything to see Jar reacting to clips of you glazing him and loving his theme song. The utter confusion as he tries to understand it. Okay, thank you for the $5.
To the comic.
My eyes are seeing the glory of the
and those two things, I guess, along with the way that I explained it, was what, like, or at least the way that he presented it to me was what convinced him that, like, it was this, like, morally bad thing, and that, like, you know, Cindy was this.
But that's how Jar works. It just sounds. So what you're describing.
I mean, I understand that. I understand. Wait. I just want to respond to the rest.
Dickers, speaking for himself in chat right now. Let's be real. Everyone's gotten a little freaky in the DMs with a teen at some point. Lamau. Yeah, that's all you, man. That's all you.
Yes, I'm sorry. The other thing that I just want to say is, like, I did not help him with his response. I have not helped him with his response. Like, I haven't in any way been like, you should do this and you should not do this.
Okay,
he seems to be. Hold on.
Shut the fuck up. You're saying a lot of goddamn words that mean absolutely nothing. You've been in this. You've been in 10 calls with that motherfucker, and has he fallen asleep to you, Himpleton?
No.
No. What kind of shit?
Q. Shut up, Siley. Shut up. Shut up.
Are y'all talking about in those other 9 calls?
So I've
And don't give me the long form. Give me the short form.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm doing a June the King style retrospective on Jar.
Mm-hmm.
And like, of all of his drama career and stuff.
Does he know that?
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
And so, you know, a good 3 or 4 of those calls haven't even been related to his, like, quote unquote response and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been talking about his past dramas. I'm also doing a video on a former editor of his named Josh the Josher. So a good amount of our stuff has been about that.
Okay, so you're helping a guy who was defending a groomer that you could quite frankly see in the DMs that she was grooming that 14-year-old, and you befriended a stupid bitch who was in a group chat in a support group for said groomer. It's kind of funny how those two things relate, huh?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not helping Jar. Second of all,
what are you getting a shout out for then?
Okay, so I've already explained this once. I'll do it again.
I know,
really
but
fine.
you took a mile to walk 2 feet.
Huh?
You took a mile to walk 2 feet.
Okay.
Xylee makes me want to take the opposite position every time. She's so fucking annoying, bro. It just, like, she could literally be saying, like, child rape bad, and I would be like, you know, let's discuss that. Let's discuss that.
Okay. Let me TLDR. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I'm sorry. Let me TLDR.
So am I.
I know. I get it. It's fine. Jesus. Let me TLDR here. Basically, it's in the first call. I basically just clarify and explain to him why Cindy Bear is a groomer, in my opinion, using evidence that he hadn't seen yet.
Whoa, Himpleton, we got that. Everybody saw that call.
Yeah, so that's what's being used in the video, and it's not a shout out in so much as like what I said to Beckett. Like, it's going to be as much of a shout out as, like, Beckett gave to me. It's just reference.
So basically, what you're saying is, so you went to your friends, Flatley and them, and you talked a bunch of shit trying to basically, I guess, clout grab or brag to them and talk shit to them. Is that what you did? Because you can't have you said you would get a shout out, and the way you were talking.
Xylee has been trying to recapture the Mama Max magic all this time, but she's just an old lady with a mustache, who is past her meager prime.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
You were, like, bragging to them.
So, Flatley and Ant are, like, very well informed on like everything that's gone on with that. And I very frequently, like, fucked around and, like, joked around with them about, like, what's going on. Like, Ant and I had, like, really talked a lot about it, and You know, to the point where it's almost become like a little bit of an inside joke. And you know, I mean, I guess you could say that it was clout.
Talking
yeah,
shit.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Talking shit. Like you were talking shit, trying to get Kuihman on to debate you with fucking Flamenco as his partner, knowing how that would have looked to the community because you're a snake. Because that's what snakes do. Funny. That's what snakes do, bro.
Okay, like, dude, if you actually think that, like, do you think that I think like Kuihman is that stupid that he would fucking accept that?
Why would you even ask then? Because what if he would have said yes?
It was the very beginning. No, wait. It was a very
wait. You really think Kuihman's so stupid that he would accept that? No, but you clearly did, because you fucking asked me. What? He was trying to get Flamenco on. He was trying to do that. Dude, what?
Community, because you're a snake? Because that's what snakes do. Funny. That's what snakes do, bro.
Okay. Like, dude, if you actually think that... like, do you think that I think like Kuihman is that stupid that he would fucking accept that?
Why would you even ask then? Because what if he would have said yes?
It was the very beginning. No, wait. It was the very beginning of me like streaming. I was a fucking shitter retard, and literally.
You still are a shitter retard. Look at you now.
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
You literally gave me an apology that was a fucking copy and paste to Beckett's because you didn't have the balls to come up with new words to say to me.
Well, I mean, I was apologizing for the same things.
Okay, this is retarded.
GG. Oh wait, where did Evan get blackball from?
I've never spoken to Evan.
So you've never spoken to Evan, so he probably got that from Goblin then.
I guess so.
Okay. And you were agreeing with us about Goblin because Beckett had already talked to you about that. Yeah.
That's correct.
And then you ran to, okay, first of all, Beckett and I are not larger streamers. Like we're tiny.
Compared to him you are, to be fair. You have like connections with like the bigger people. So in his eyes, as someone who was there, like you would be bigger.
Bruh.
I mean, I'll also say
this
that
is why I didn't want to do this.
I'm just being fair. I'm
just talking.
Wait, Aiden was totally right there. No, Aiden was right.
We're tiny.
Compared to him you are, to be fair. You have like connections with like the bigger people. So in his eyes, as someone who was there, like you would be bigger.
Bruh.
I mean, I'll also say that.
This is why I didn't want to do this.
I'm just being fair. I'm
just talking to Himpleton right now.
Okay, I'm moderating.
But he's getting raped on his own stream. That's unfortunate. He's right, but he's getting raped and shot out of his own stream.
I'll also say that I was just trying to like I intentionally did not use anybody's name because I was being retarded and thought that it somehow wouldn't get back to anybody. And so, you know, I was trying to kind of obscure who I was talking about.
But it came back to me and Beckett.
I know. Like it was retarded.
And you literally befriended someone who was in a support group for a groomer and you thought you could fucking trust them, even to the point where she was talking about trying to help her get a gun. And you thought you could trust her?
I didn't know about any of that. First of all, I didn't know about any of the gun stuff. Befriending is like such a strong word, man. Like I just.
Well, then why else would you give a fuck of how she feels about shit then? Because if I'm not your friend, I give two fucks how you feel.
Well, we're different people, Xylee. Like, I mean, the thing is, I knew that she was going through a lot. I knew, like, she was going through some like personal struggles outside of the Cinny stuff.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. She ran a support group for her. No, I give two fucks about any of that.
That's fair, and I think that's
and had somebody on a stream that was talking about how they were proud about doxing somebody. I don't give a fuck about her feelings.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either at the time.
Yeah, you know how to pick them, don't you?
Sure.
Hey.
So you know, I just knew about some personal shit. She was schizoing out in my DMs and kind of just like. I don't know. I was worried. I was worried about what may happen if she thought I was like against her, and you know, like she was.
What do you mean you were worried about? No, hold on. Oh, wait, what do you mean you were worried about what might happen?
What is this fucking ape doing, dude? Why is he sitting there twiddling his fucking microphone like he's trying to get fucking food out of a little puzzle to throw into his enclosure? Dude, focus on the conversation. You're moderating, aren't you?
What do you mean you were worried about? No, hold on. Oh, wait, what do you mean you were worried about what might happen?
She just seemed extremely like fucking like depressed. She was depressed posting like a shit ton and like
yeah, she's from the ACC. Like, okay, yeah, so here's my thing with this. You're talking to Jar and you're talking to people like Goblin and you're asking for information stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I've caught my fair amount of flack for getting off the truck during the safari.
Dude.
But you're saying, well, Jar has a route back. He didn't know he was a Grimmer. You're making a June King thing, but you don't really understand the ACC community. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be making these fucking mistakes. Like, I have my DMs with Jar, and then a call with Jar, and that's it. Because I understand, like, I've been around that little group long enough to know. Whereas what I see, and like, I guess the way I see it is this. Jar is using you as his little fucking test audience for, can I persuade people outside the ACC that actually, I didn't know I was innocent. I just didn't realize what a groomer was, which is what Jar always fucking does. He looks for new friends and then tries to basically side up with them. That's how he ended up in the fucking ACC in the first place. So it's like, even if unintentionally you are providing that support for him, because of the way you seem to like have talked to Aiden about this, the way you've talked to Goblin, it looks like, you're trying to, I don't know, at least foster a friendly-ish relationship. And it's like, well, how do we trust what comes out of you in the long term for that kind of video? Like, how do we know you're not biased?
For Jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. What was always the plan is that, like, I was gonna, especially with all the kind of speculation surrounding the calls, I was always planning on, once I released the video.
They're mad that he's helping Jar, but I hope he helps Jar. I hope Himpleton helps Jar out. That'd be awesome.
Including all of the calls so that people could comb through them. Obviously, like, if there's, I don't think there's anything like sensitive.
I mean, you'd think in terms of exposure. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. This isn't a criticism. Lots of us do. But you understand when you say, well, I'm going to get a shout out, even if it's just like referential. In the same way that, when anybody uses any of our stuff in like a video or something that's going to be like more widely viewed, that's going to bring attention to us, right?
Yeah.
So, and that motivation for you, because you want to grow, you want to do more things. It just feels like you want to play behind the scenes. I think Chud said it's like Colton-like behavior.
Well, but so Becky, here's my thing. Like, I could have stopped at the first call and that still would have happened. Because again, like, he is literally referencing something from the first call. That is the extent, at least from what I understand. I do not, I don't
Then why
know.
Didn't you?
Sorry?
Then why didn't you stop at the first call?
Because I'm wanting to do this
Dude, why am I seeing this fucking arcane sex scene all over my fucking Twitter? I can't open this stupid fucking website without seeing this shit right now. Also, people are right. They look like men.
Retrospective. I'm working on this Joshua video. I also initially was thinking that I could learn more information.
Arcane Season 2 sucks? Arcane Season 1 sucks! Who's surprised?
About just what exactly was going on, whether he was being
why is this guy booting up
legitimately genuine about...
What's your cross-reference? Who else from the ACC have you spoken to?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you've got Jar's side of this, but who else have you spoken to?
About what?
About Jar.
I've spoken to people behind the scenes, but not, like, on the record.
I'm not contrarian. I'm just ahead of my time. Everyone comes around eventually. It's happening with God of War. It's happening with God of War. Everyone ends up coming around one day. I'm just ahead of my time on all these things. He will realize eventually, oh wow, that arcane shit was actually mid as fuck. Oh wow, that was actually mid as fuck. And like, really not that good. The animation's kind of whack. The voice acting's pretty boring, pretty bland. The story is just like a total butchering of the original lore. People will come around.
Like, I wasn't planning on... Like,
I mean, do you see what I'm getting at here? You're saying you're doing a retrospective of Jar's dramas, essentially from the perspective of Jar.
You're not talking to anybody else who's had to deal with him?
Wait.
Yeah, I'm the same Valavinge. I also did not purchase the second God of War game because the first one was so fucking dog shit. I didn't even finish it. It's fucking so shit. And the people that defend it are so fucking stupid, man. They actually are like mediocre slot so bad. They just want the most boring, paint by numbers, over the shoulder, dodge rolling, gay fucking bullshit in every fucking game. Original God of War was so fucking sick. You're like fucking throwing fucking 20 enemies around the room with your fucking chain blades. So fucking awesome. You're like fucking stomping Poseidon's fucking head against the pavement. So fucking cool. And then it's just like the new one is just the most sluggish, boring, wading through mud, just dog shit. slog to play with, yeah, just like a dog shit story where it's just like, oh, isn't violence so bad? Isn't violence? I'm so old and violence is bad. You know, guys, revenge isn't the answer.
So basically what I'm doing right now...
Actually, no. Revenge is the answer. Killing people is the answer, and that's base. That's awesome, actually.
Or what I was doing was just pure info gathering. Like, I haven't even gotten to the point of, like, scripting and starting to ask other people questions and stuff. Like, that would inevitably happen, but, like, this is such early stage stuff. Like, that... Like, it's not coming out next month, you know what I mean?
What is it, a documentary?
That was the plan, like a June the King kind of...
Is this going to be like a Tro video where it's like 6 hours long? I mean, what is this?
I don't know about 6 hours, but I was planning to be pretty exhaustive in terms of talking about his...
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, again, so, like, there are 2 different videos, too. Like, there's also the one where his editor, Josh the Josher, that's somebody that I'm looking into a lot right now. That's, like, the main video that I'm working on right now. And, you know, he had a good amount of insight on that since he directly worked with him. And no, I'm not just talking to Jar about that, obviously. Like, obviously, I think it's very, 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 very clear that I was fucking stupid and reckless with the Jar thing. I think, Beckett, what you're saying is on point about, like, me kind of jumping out of the fucking, like, not just getting out of the Jeep of the Safari, but, like, fucking rolling in the grass and trying to be one of the fucking animals without even really knowing what I was doing. Like, I think I absolutely didn't put enough, like, thought or consideration into any of that. And I 100% see what you're saying about, like, even if I didn't mean to, it is, like, still a form of support for him and, like, kind of helping him. Like, I see all of that. And I'm not trying at all, and I'm really sorry if it's come off this way. I'm not trying at all to deny or, like, act like I haven't.
You should go out of your way to help Jar even more than you helped Ro. These people all have sand in their bussy and it's boring. Bring back Jar. Uncritical Spurg support if it's funny. Jar W.
Jar needs to come back. Like, when Jar comes back, I'll defend him from any unfair freaks trying to kill him.
That I've been fucking retarded about this stuff. And you know, that I haven't learned enough when it comes to Jar before dealing with him too. I think that, like, that's very fair. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm not.
I know. Listen, I get you're tired. I get. I told you this wasn't gonna be a debate. I know Xylee came in a little hot. Not saying Xylee said anything wrong, but I wanted to just ask straight up, just like yes or no. Would you agree this was a gay op?
To Jar?
Yes.
Dude, why does Himpleton pull these fucking faces, man?
To Jar?
Yes.
He actually looks so much like Dharma. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's I didn't want to have to. I'm not.
Wait, but didn't you take that back though? Didn't you take it back that it was a gay op? That it really wasn't a gay op? And now you're saying it really is a gay op. So which one was the lie? That it was a gay op or it wasn't a gay op and now it's a gay op?
So I was answering it in a yes or no question.
Mm-hmm.
If I could expand on it, then I obviously would, and I would talk about how, you know,
Dharma was gay.
To me, it's more about info gathering. To me, it's more about kind of all that stuff. But
you said yes, it's a gay op. But you already took it back.
So
it wasn't a gay op.
So purely definitionally, right? It is like a gay op in the fact that like the way that Aiden has presented it, when we've talked about it, is it's like, look, even if I'm kind of coming from a like not necessarily super judgment-centered perspective, I am still like I'm there with the pure intention to info gather.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like it's not. It would be defined as like a gay op.
Well, just to reiterate, I think my understanding of, based on my conversations with you, was that you overplayed your support for Just a Robot for the sake of getting in his good graces and getting early access to his response for the sake of getting info and content for your video. To what extent you overplayed your positions to gain his favor, I'm not sure. But it obviously was just like a gay op. Now, I think when you denied it, maybe you didn't meet your definition of a gay op, but you seem to agree with me now that yes, this is your.
Okay. So this is when it
wasn't. I didn't.
This is very much where my like issue sits, and this is why I'm asking questions about the Jar and Cine and like fucking Goblin, because when the stuff came out about the group chat to do with Cinebet, it was like no. You guys don't understand. We're actually just trying.
Himpleton really walked into the opticians and said, yeah, make me look like a gay serial killer.
Trying to get Cinny to shut the fuck up so that we can get the story out on Birdie. And it's like, then you look at the group chats, you look at the messages, you look at everything happening behind the scenes, you're like, actually, at the very least, they were like supportive, or they were in the deepest months-long gay op I've ever fucking seen. So, like, it's interesting to watch this drama unfold to the point where it hits you. And there are so many parallels to this fucking group chat and this fucking Cinny support group. You just seem to be doing it to Jar. And now when you've kind of been caught in a live coming on, realizing it wasn't live, now you've got a bit of a backtracky, well, actually, guys, it's not a shout out. It's not this. It was just a joke kind of thing. And then you've got the weird conversation you have with Lyrics afterwards, the like fucking long DM to Chud. I don't know, man. It just feels like you should just take the position and own it. It doesn't matter if somebody doesn't like it, would be my thought. Because like, yeah, I'm not sure how much I can trust you to tell me the truth of what you're doing. And like, again, you don't have to. I don't fucking care. Who the fuck am I? But like, that's the criticism that's hitting you directly.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole problem right there. That's the whole problem. I don't care
this
about
is
the
like this is like unlistenable.
Strays all the time. I don't care about the stray that you gave me, but it's the fact that you present yourself as this trustworthy guy, and all these instances are coming up where you're snaking. You're being a snake, and it's like, bro, what? Just if you're going to be a snake, act like a snake. Own it. But don't come off like you're some nice guy when you're doing snaky ass behavior. You know, shit, own it at least.
I think your fundamental issue is your attempts, not even the initial things you do, but your attempts to make yourself look better for the original shitty things you do. I think those make you look 10 times worse than anything you did that like originally got you into content.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I need to really just stop attempting to kind of over-explain and justify myself in kind of my actions and let them speak for itself. Can
I ask what's going on with morale? Like, because again, I heard rumors that like Flatley and some others were sort of following him from VC to VC.
Oh, okay, I have no idea about that. We had a bit of a personal conflict, and
there are, I believe, Himpleton's gay little friends do like. I was like playing Siege the other day. I was quite locked in playing Siege the other day in Discord. And Rao was in the VC along with a few others, and they were talking. I believe all of Himpleton's like Discord friends, like all joined VC at once, and were like, I guess talking shit to Rao or something. Like I wasn't listening; I was like totally locked in on Siege, and then they all leave at once as well. I guess that like Flatley and all these guys just go around and just all jump into VCs at once to like raid Discord VCs or something. I don't really.
We don't talk anymore. And I wish him nothing but the best though. Like
I was like, quiet guys, I'm 1v3.
I don't have a beef with him.
But do the other people who are sort of like orbiting around you, are they like talking to you about morale? Are they picking up? Because I mean, there's been all this sort of like looping with the Aiden stuff. And I mean, you're not streaming at the moment, is my understanding.
I mid stream tonight.
Wait,
right. Okay.
Beckett, are you trying to insinuate that he's kind of like leading these people to do this?
I'm asking the question. I'm not insinuating.
Oh, okay. That's what you're telling me to get.
So, I don't have like any form of like authority over what people do. I look, I've been very consistent about this. Like,
I've never been in Siege before, and I've been enjoying it. I'm first time player. I'm still leveling up to get ranked unlocked. But I did play it briefly before, but not like a lot at all. Like, a few hours, a few matches. I'm enjoying it. I find it really fun. So,
kind of everywhere, private and public. Like, I do not wish him any ill will. I wish the best for him.
Playing Deimos.
We, stopped talking because of like personal stuff, like private stuff. I mean, that didn't like flow into the public.
I've played a lot of the wheelchair person. The wheelchair person's actually sick. The wheelchair character's sick because they actually have you're actually in the wheelchair, are you? You're the robots. You're the robots. Yeah, there's a wheelchair operator. She controls like 2 robots from like a remote location, and you can switch between the 2 robots. So like you position one, it sits down and acts as a camera, and then you switch the other one, and you can walk around, and then you can switch back to the other one. And if the one you're active in dies, you die. But if the one you're not active in dies, you're fine. So you can just like switch between them. They have independent health bars and everything as well. It's pretty epic. It's pretty epic. And yeah, Deimos, obviously on attack a lot. Echo and Skopos, I usually play on defense.
Other people, I'm just kind of trying to like...
Deimos is just so fucking badass, dude. I'm sorry. He just is.
Digest what you're saying to effectively respond to it and not like...
I mean, it has that private I mean, because again, you've got like a group of people who you're saying, like, even with Flatley and Ant, you're saying, you know, well, we've been talking about the fact that I've been going over this jar stuff. I've talked to him. That's like it's a thing we're joking about. But then if you're saying that about your behind the scene conversations, are you also talking about the stuff that's happened with morale? Is that like a driving factor? And like, because I'm trying to work out how you work.
The only people that I have like talked about the morale stuff with are the people who are directly involved in, you know, the kind of argument that resulted in us no longer talking. Yeah. So it's people who are already directly in the know about it.
I can vouch for that, by the way. I will vouch
I'm
for
not
that.
like I'm not like gossiping outside of that very small zone of people who already know what the deal is. And a lot of those people are still friends with him, and I'm glad that they are. And I've made it very clear to them, and I've tried to make it very clear on a public end.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna just sit here and talk about Siege fucking ages. I had a couple of just like such sick plays on Deimos last night when I was playing Siege, man. Just like fucking like rappelling on like a wall, tracking people inside, and then just seeing them just like move, just into like the like shot that you can get put through the wooden like barricade on the window, and just like popping them. It's just so fucking satisfying. So satisfying. It's so epic. It's awesome. I do like that game.
And as well, that like I do not want any harm to befall him. And if people like, if my friends, because we have a lot of mutual friends, and if they like continue being friends with him, that's great. Like I have
what's Leroy saying about Himpleton?
Problem with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Again, I just wanted sort of clarification on the question because, as you can probably tell, you're a topic of conversation. And I mean, there is listen. All of us are content. The goal should be to not become the story, though, and you are fast becoming the story.
Absolutely. I understand that.
You know? I mean, over the Goblin stuff in my video, I don't feel like I can come to you and be like, "Hey, what the fuck is this rumor I'm hearing?" Because I feel like I'll end up in a conversation where it's like, "Well, actually, it's not this, it's not that." So I just went, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna put you in the video."
Yeah, that's fair. No, I mean, it's like I said in DMs, like I completely understand. Or maybe let me, just in case I'm not verbatim quoting my DMs, let me just say this outright. Like, I completely understand that. I completely understand why you came to the conclusion that you did. I mean, if I had been removed from, like, if I was in your situation, I would have come to the same conclusion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, I feel like we've exhausted things here. I don't know if Aiden, Xylee, you got any other points?
No, he's a snake. I mean, listen, we were never friends. I mean, you know, I was never like, we were never on that level. So it's not like I'm hurt or anything. I'm used to catching strays by everybody. It is what it is. You know, it's just, you were just compounding the snaky behavior one on top of another. And I see you get all these damn fireside chats. And I wish you would just fucking learn, honestly, because you always come off with the same line. Oh, I was being retarded. Oh, I was being dumb. Bro, you know, it's just, you got to learn one day. Or somebody will do a video on you. God only knows who that would be, but because you're going to be the story one day if you keep going down the path you're going.
Yeah, no, I agree. And real quick, Aiden, you're supposed to check DMs apparently, because something's getting sent to you. Like,
well, apparently you're supposed to disavow me. So go ahead and disavow me too. I mean, plenty of people do that. I don't give a shit.
I disavow you. Fucking.
Oh, thanks, Pesky. I disavow you too, fucker.
Are you talking about me?
No, Aiden. Oh, Aiden, you're supposed to check DMs.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to disavow you, Xylee?
Yeah, there's people telling you to disavow me in the chat. You might as well.
That's stupid.
No, I'm not going to disavow you. I've never had a problem with your, Like, I've never had a problem with your content. I also completely understand, like, the perspective of me being a snake.
Wait, is Himpleton wearing a cross necklace? Wait, is he like a Christian guy? What is this? Is this just a fashion choice, or is he, like, actually religious?
I don't give a shit.
I disavow you. Fucking.
Oh, thanks, Pesky. I disavow you too, fucker.
Are you talking about me?
No, Aiden. Oh, Aiden, you're supposed to check DMs.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to disavow you, Xylee?
Yeah, there's people telling you to disavow me in the chat. You might as well.
That's
yeah, he's wearing an 824 jacket.
I never had a problem.
Dude, you know he's worn a drive jacket on stream before as well, right? Like the exact Chinese replica drive jacket that every fucking autist has.
With your, like, I've never had a problem with your content. I also completely understand, like, the perspective of me being a snake. Like,
literally, I've seen so many people in real life with that exact same replica drive jacket. I've seen so many times I've seen this. I saw it one time when I was working at one place, and I saw it another time I was working another place, and one of my co-workers, my manager's brother-in-law, who was like kind of autistic and like he was like 19 or something, worked there, was given a job there, and he wore a fucking drive jacket like every day. Like every day he came into work, he wore a fucking drive jacket. And I was just, it was fucking insane. I was like nicely, I like, you know, socialized with the guy because like, obviously I know what type of guy this is, but it was fucking crazy how autistic this guy was. He had like fucked up teeth too. God, it was a fucking sight, man. He used to talk about how he'll never get a girlfriend as well, man. It was so funny. Look about, he was actually kind of like an incel, but he just didn't come off like one because he was so like, not like, he wasn't like, he didn't say like particularly edgy stuff or anything political. He was just like a big Drive fan who bemoaned how he could never get a girlfriend.
Tried to argue against it.
The only question I have is, like, your snaky behavior, is it on purpose or is it that you're so dumb you're making it look that way?
It really is that. And that's exactly why I like am just
You're going to catch yourself up, bro. You're going to catch yourself up if you keep going.
I'm not sure if I like this whole Cam Nuggets defense of like, I don't know, people are retarded. That's why they do things. Like, I'm just it's becoming a theme with things.
Well,
it's like,
listen. Here's my thing. And
this is like a general thing. This isn't just you.
I understand.
It's like, you know.
Sorry, let me. You finish whatever you're saying, and I'll go.
Yeah, it's just like I caught this with Cam Nuggets. It's like, well, what do you expect? Cam Nuggets is retarded, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't change the fact that it seems to have like knock-on effects of like I don't want to like the soy thing of damage, or at least having to like have a conversation like this while Aiden like loops because he's got no real fucking content.
Okay. Good one, buddy.
Listen, go play Call of Duty with your new dad. Okay.
Wait.
So I'm being nice to you all stream.
Sorry, two really quick things. First of all, Aiden, apparently you're supposed to read the DM.
I'm reading everything. It's just people asking me to play BO6. Who's asking me?
No, it's
Chud's whole Discord is his new dad. Okay, Chud's whole Discord is Aiden's new dad. Taught him how to fix his breaker, how to flip his fuse.
Apparently, Furin DM'd you, and you're supposed to read it out loud to Beckett. And then the other thing is, dude, I'm just getting fed this. I have no fucking idea what this is. But then the other thing that I'm just gonna say is like, dude, I need to like. I understand why you feel that way about like the whole retard defense. I don't at all want to be the fucking weaponized incompetence guy.
Want to become a liability.
I don't want to become a liability either. And I know that is what I'm becoming. Okay, I understand that. I've been playing in the fucking mud for way too long. Like I genuinely think, and I came to this conclusion tonight. I mean, I was talking to a couple of friends about it. Like the whole point of tonight when I was streaming was to see if I still kind of wanted to do the structure of talking about like kind of current drama stuff. And I came out of it and I was like, I don't even really find it that I don't really enjoy it that much regardless. And even when I do, I fucking get myself in shit. Like I'm impulsive and kind of reckless with that stuff. And I'm, planning on just kind of stepping back from that position, where I kind of, when I do live stream, it's more of like a research stream on something that I'm looking into. And like, in the meantime, just be learning the ropes a little bit more carefully.
No, I don't know how you can find, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, how do you end up in so many dramas that you're, like, so upset about, That you're, like, changing your streaming content and being like, I can't cover breaking drama, I can't cover new drama, active topics, I have to just do research streams now because I'm too retarded to stop embarrassing myself. Like, how... I actually don't get it. How do you end up in this mental space? The whole conversation needs to happen, let him stream his content. I mean, yeah, I agree, but he's like saying, I keep fucking this up and embarrassing myself, I should stop doing this. It's like, what? How are you even in that mental space? I mean, okay, you fuck up a drama or you embarrass yourself, move on and keep going, I guess. Like, why are you even at this point? What has even happened? Like, you're just arguing with people about who should be banned from your Discord or not. Like, who gives a fuck? I just...
And more in private, so that I am not just doing these retarded fucking implosions constantly. Where, like, as you're saying, like, I'm fucking kind of becoming the story. I mean,
it has been, like, every week for the last, like, month and a half?
Yes, it has. Every week. Himpleton this, Himpleton that. I am so tired of hearing yours and Rao's name, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I said this before.
And I'm sick of hearing about Aiden, too.
Okay, everyone loves hearing
He's a previously massive content creator.
And I'm going to do it a second time when you haven't even done it once. You haven't even done it once, little bro. But what I want to say...
Can you look at whatever Fern said, please?
He's not saying... He's literally being incoherent in my DMs.
Do I have to pay to get you kicked from this call?
Wait, me? This is my live stream, you dumb bitch. What I have to say here is, Himpleton, I said this earlier, and I made no mistake, or I've said this to you, I think, in person too. Dude, you're a fucking idiot, but like, you're so lucky in the sense that you haven't, and you very reasonably could have by now, that nothing you've done has been I think, necessarily irredeemable. But Xylee is correct in the sense where if you go down this path and keep fucking up like this, and it has been a weekly thing, you will become the story, you will become a lolcow, and you won't be able to do what you want, and people will be making videos on you, and it fucking sucks. I don't think people want that for you, but you've absolutely been fucking it for yourself. And I don't know if you need to, like, maybe, like, do the 10-second rule where you stop for 10 seconds when you make a decision.
Okay, we are banning fireside chats, I think. We're banning fireside chats. Total fireside chat destruction. This has to end. Listen, man, you're becoming a lolcow. You're gonna look really bad. It's really bad for your reputation if you keep doing this. Who cares? Good. Let them keep doing it. I hope their reputation is tarnished. I hope they become a lolcow. Why are we doing intervention streams? Let's stop doing intervention streams. No more fireside chats. Why is this something you're doing? No more of this. Let's end it.
And think about it, but you're like very impulsive. And I think maybe I'm being charitable. I said this earlier. I get why people attribute your actions to malice. I see stupidity. I don't really see malice. But regardless if it's malicious or stupid, the outcome is the same, and the outcome is bad. And it's a fucking liability to have around for anybody. So I don't blame anybody who's cutting you off. But you gotta stop fucking up, dude. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you need. I don't know. You just gotta stop fucking up. I think you know this. I think that's essentially what we've been saying. Stop. I'm not sleeping. Yeah. It's fucking moronic. I agree.
I keep on kind of like the biggest mistake that I've been doing, especially lately, is just like thinking that there is some kind of future in which I can like be the fucking like guy who goes over the fucking live new crazy shit and like does a good job at kind of, I guess, covering that stuff and not getting into the weeds of it and not kind of playing with the fucking animals in the safari, to use the metaphor. Like I genuinely am not cut out for that kind of content. My videos are I mean, some of my videos are good.
I'm gonna stop you. I have to stop you.
Sure.
You gotta stop with this over explanation shit. This Oscar speech that you give to like every answer to every question. It's cringe as fuck. I think that's like the first bit of advice you need to apply. Like no more Oscar speeches. You're not winning the Academy Award. We get it. Okay, we get it.
Yeah. But just like super TLDR, one sentence statement. I'm not cut out for the like going over current events and stuff like that. I fuck it up every time. I make myself look like a retard. Pretty much every time. And that's the biggest thing I'm going to be stepping away from in order to help that.
Well, I mean, to be clear, I don't think, I don't care whether you step away or not. Frankly, at least it's been like, look, I'll throw the criticism at you, but it's given everyone content. It's not the live streaming stuff that's kind of like the issue or like covering things. It's that you seem to have a habit of playing both sides privately. And I think that's where a lot of these issues lie. And that doesn't change whether you're live streaming or making videos. And it, you know, that's just how people are going to view you. Sorry, I'm fucking dying here. As opposed to like, if you're live on a stream, like you look at the Cam stream, once again, like I never accused Cam of being a pedophile. He's fucking not. Just to throw that out once again, talking about the story. But you know, when you had that stream, that was fucking Kino content for a load of people. It's when, you know, I see DMs like this one from Goblin. That's right. The issue.
So the reason I said like the streaming thing, and like just to be clear, like I plan on still doing videos. I still plan on like doing, you know, like fucking research streams. But like my thing is like I have this tendency to get over involved, like you already said earlier, and that's the biggest reason why I want to like step away from it, because I keep on, the reason that I put myself in these situations is because of the lives. Like I understand what you mean, but like it's not the fact that I understand that it's not the lives themselves, but the lives themselves put me in these positions where I do fuck up. And it puts me in these positions where I get overly involved and care too much about these like fucking glup shit like things. And like that's why I'm stepping away from it, because like I completely understand how I am like making myself into this fucking liability by caring too much about these things, and by like trying to, not like in a malicious way, but like trying to not like play both sides, but just like kind of remain a neutral, like quote unquote nice guy to like a really stupid fucking degree. That's how I'm putting myself into this situation again and again.
Yeah, I don't care about all this feeling shit. I could give two fucks. Listen, you're doing snake behavior. Don't message me again. I wish you well on your channel. Just stay the fuck away from me. I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
Damn, she just got real. I'll be here all night, folks. Sorry. Keep going.
This Aiden guy gotta go.
We got that one? Really?
This Aiden guy gotta go.
I got it.
Get rid of this guy now.
All right. Well.
Yeah. I think unless there's anything else. I mean, is there anything else that you want to say to me?
Yeah. No, nothing.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I mean, I just, you know, obviously, again, I'm sorry. I think,
okay.
Yeah, I understand why you feel for sure.
Okay. Sure. And look, I mean, well, you're racking up a record because like, most people only ever get one fireside chat, and you've had multiple. So like I hope that has been enjoyable and like comfy leather chairs. And it's the last one. I want to react with to something with Aiden. So if there's nothing else,
I'm getting one more fucking DM.
Oh my god, I'm not.
Once again.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it out. It's not that important. The people that were MVC with Morale wanted me to say this has nothing to do with Himpleton. They were going off a bit that Morale used to do with them and VCs earlier.
Oh, that's it?
Yes, that's what I've been trying to explain. That's what I've been trying to fucking explain.
I can't believe I've gotten spammed over that.
You keep telling me to read this DM. It doesn't fucking add anything.
No, I know. It's because I keep on. It's because somebody keeps on telling me to get you to.
All right, I read it.
Yeah, you read it. That's all good. Enjoy your reaction.
Cool. All right, make sure this is the last fire. This is going to be the last fireside chat, buddy. So make sure it sticks.
Indeed.
All right.
Okay. Wow, that was fucking terrible. That was really fucking bad.